I've got to tell you guys, what just went down in Cleveland doesn't feel like a simple depth chart announcement. No, this feels like a seismic shift, like the ground underneath the entire Browns organization just cracked open days before the season opener. Kevin Stefanski walked into that team meeting room, looked his players dead in the eye, and with just a few words, changed the entire trajectory of this franchise. SHEDEUR Sanders is our starter. Joe Flacco is the backup. Everyone else, prepare accordingly. That was it. No fluff, no explanations, just cold, hard clarity. And the silence in that room. I'm told it was heavy. You could feel the weight pressing down on everyone. Veterans nodded like they saw it coming. Rookies looked around, wide-eyed. Assistants scrambled to rework practice scripts. And Dillon Gabriel, the third-round pick. Who thought this was his shot? He didn't say a word. He just sat there, stone still, then walked out without even acknowledging his teammates. That's not just a quarterback decision. That's a culture-altering moment. Let's build a totem pole together! Smash like, subscribe, and comment. If this video hits 5,000 likes, that means we're beating the Bengals. Let's make it happen. And I want to make something crystal clear here. This wasn't Stefanski waking up yesterday morning and rolling the dice. This was weeks in the making. Ownership pressure, locker room whispers, preseason brilliance from Sanders, it all built to this moment. SHEDEUR wasn't just good in the preseason. He was electric. He completed 76% of his throws, led 7 touchdown drives in limited action, and every time he touched the ball, the energy shifted. He looked nothing like a rookie, and everything like the kind of quarterback who could take a team beyond the confines of a playbook. Now let's be fair. Gabriel wasn't bad. In fact, by normal rookie standards, he was outstanding. Over 400. Passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, a passer rating north of 100. Most years, those numbers would have put him right in line for the job. But football isn't just about numbers. It's about spark. It's about whether you make people believe. And SHEDEUR made the city of Cleveland believe. And believe me, this changes everything. Offensively, Alex Van Pelt is ripping up half the old playbook. Sanders' mobility means new designed runs, more rollouts, and plays that only exist because of his improvisation. Defensively, Jim Schwartz has already been dialing up extra pressure in practice just to toughen him up for what's coming in Week 1 against the Bengals. And don't think Cincinnati hasn't noticed. Word is Lou Anarumo has already scrapped his initial game plan and is designing blitz packages specifically for Sanders. That's the level of respect or fear a rookie is already commanding. But the real story is inside that locker room. For weeks, reports had this team divided. Veterans leaning Gabriel, younger guys buying into Sanders' flash. But the second Stefanski made the call, Myles Garrett pulled everyone together. He told them, flat out, whoever the coach names starter gets 100% support, period. That kind of leadership matters, and it's contagious. Offensive linemen have already been told, protect the kid at all costs. Receivers? They're grinning ear to ear because they know Sanders opens up the vertical game, the route tree, the whole playbook. The energy flipped overnight. Now I can't ignore the other side of this, Gabriel's reaction. Multiple people said he went straight to his car, didn't talk to anyone, and his agent was on the phone with Andrew Berry within hours. Trade request talk is already in the air. And honestly, can you blame him? He did everything right and he still got leapfrogged. One teammate even said privately, if doing everything right isn't enough, what message does that send? That's a real question hanging over this locker room. But here's why this isn't just about a quarterback battle. This is about power inside the Browns organization. For the first time in a long time, Stefanski made a call that wasn't dictated by ownership. I've been told Jimmy Haslam has stepped back, letting football people handle football decisions after past disasters. And this call, staking your job, your season, your legacy on a rookie, that's Stefanski putting his flag in the ground and saying, I run this team. That's either brilliant leadership or a move that could cost him his career. There's no middle ground, and that's why this is so much bigger than just Week 1 against Cincinnati. This is about identity. This is about whether Cleveland is finally ready to bet on greatness instead of settling for safe. Gabriel was safe. Sanders? Sanders is dangerous, explosive, polarizing, magnetic. He brings pressure. Every throw, every snap, every mistake is going to be magnified tenfold. And instead of shrinking from that, he's already leaning into it. Word is he didn't even celebrate after the announcement. He went straight to the film room. That tells me he knows what's at stake. The Browns aren't playing around this year. This isn't a rebuild. This is a team with a championship-level defense, a roster built to win now, and in the middle of all that, they're handing the keys to a rookie quarterback who has as much hype, scrutiny, and expectation as any we've seen in years. And I'll say it again, this isn't just a quarterback decision. This is a defining moment for the Cleveland Browns. If Sanders thrives, Stefanski looks like a visionary, and the Browns finally shed the weight of decades of dysfunction. If he fails, then this franchise is back in the chaos it swore it had outgrown. I've heard the whispers. Coaches behind closed doors worried about SHEDEUR Sanders' development timeline. Some of them flat out saying he doesn't have the reps yet, that he's not ready to go toe-to-toe with the kind of complex NFL defenses he's about to see. And then, on the other side, you've got voices saying it doesn't matter. That the kid's raw talent, his pedigree, his sheer presence on a football field can override all of those traditional concerns. And here's the thing. Cleveland is caught in the middle of it. Veterans are in the building trying to act like everything's normal. Coaches are rewriting their own playbook installs to fit a rookie quarterback. The entire vibe of the team has shifted. Tomorrow, when this group gets back together, the Browns aren't just going to be running practice. They're going to be living in a brand new reality. Now, Dillon Gabriel, that's the wild card. After his dramatic exit yesterday, nobody even knows where his head's at. Multiple sources are saying he's weighing all his options, even something as extreme as a holdout. And while that storm brews, SHEDEUR is taking every extra rep, every extra snap, commanding the huddle, and carrying the weight of a franchise that hasn't seen stability at quarterback in decades. But let me pull you back to where this all started. Remember draft night? When Jimmy Haslam stood up there and made that proclamation? That wasn't just an announcement. That wasn't just a signal about one draft pick. That night shattered the entire internal framework of the Browns. Suddenly, the normal lines of power were gone. Coaches lost autonomy. The front office got undermined. Decisions weren't football decisions anymore. They were ownership directives. That's how seismic this thing really was. And yet, something shifted. After the confrontation between Gabriel and Sanders, suddenly the owner started to backtrack. The front office started to give power back to the coaches. It's as if Cleveland realized they were about 2 inches away from complete implosion and decided to slam on the brakes. That reversal might have saved the Browns from going full-blown dysfunctional. And through it all, SHEDEUR hasn't flinched. He's the one guy in this circus who looks completely unbothered. Early mornings, late nights, studying film like a madman, begging for defensive playbooks, locking in with his receivers to fine-tune timing. I've been told by people in that building that the kid's obsession with football is matching his physical talent. And that's rare. That's what turns hype into leadership. That's what earns you respect in a locker room, not your draft slot. And the veterans, they see it. They see a rookie who isn't demanding respect. He's earning it. Some of them will quietly tell you that both SHEDEUR and Gabriel showed enough to deserve a shot. Others flat out say Sanders' playmaking potential makes him the guy they want to ride with. But here's the key. This locker room hasn't fractured. They might disagree, but they've stayed united. That's maturity. That's how you hold it together when the whole football world is circling like vultures. Because make no mistake, the vultures are here. Every national outlet is in Cleveland. Every analyst is dissecting every throw, every clip, every moment. Twitter is on fire. Reddit's breaking down body language like it's the Zapruder film. Late-night comedians are cracking jokes. Saturday Night Live is reportedly cooking up a sketch. You can't even call this just a football story anymore. This has exploded into pop culture. And that spotlight? It comes with pressure. Pressure that most rookies never feel in their entire careers. Some executives think Cleveland's rushing this kid too soon, that he'd be better off with a clipboard for a year. Others think this is the new wave. Throw the phenom straight into the fire and let him grow in real time. And hanging over all of this, like a shadow, is Coach Prime. He hasn't said a word since SHEDEUR was named the starter, but his presence is everywhere. The stories, the commentary, the speculation about whether Gabriel was treated differently during the draft. All of that only intensifies the drama, and here's where it gets crazy. Depending on how this plays out, we could see three very different realities unfold. Scenario 1, SHEDEUR lights it up from day one, the offense explodes, Gabriel asks for a trade, and the Browns walk away with draft capital. Scenario 2, Sanders struggles, the noise gets louder, Gabriel stays professional, and eventually gets his shot through injury or performance. Scenario 3, Sanders is up and down, good one week, shaky the next, and the Browns keep this quarterback controversy alive all year long. None of those scenarios are ideal, but that's where we're at. And that's why the stakes here feel so enormous, and let's not ignore this. Deshaun Watson's contract is still hanging over everything like a financial ghost. That deal still haunts their books. Gabriel's rookie contract is a bargain, but if they waste it, that's mismanagement on a colossal scale. Now you throw SHEDEUR in as the face of the franchise before his foundation is even set, and you're essentially gambling the future of the organization on his ability to be a miracle worker right away. But there's always that what if. What if he is that guy? What if the chaos turns into clarity, the dysfunction turns into genius, and the gamble turns into the turning point of a franchise that's been haunted for decades? That's the intoxicating part of this story, the hope. Let's build a totem pole together. Smash like, subscribe, and comment. If this video hits 5,000 likes, that means we're beating the Bengals. Let's make it happen. And you know what makes this even more fascinating? The Bengals are waiting. Lou Anarumo's defense is one of the hardest matchups a rookie quarterback could face. They're cooking up disguise after disguise simulated. Pressures, complex coverages, everything you throw at a rookie to break him before he even gets comfortable. Joe Burrow's even been overheard saying that rookie QBs don't usually stand a chance against that defense. That's the reality SHEDEUR is walking into on Sunday. His very first NFL snap is going to be against one of the most confusing, suffocating defensive units in the league. This isn't just a game. This is a trial by fire. This is a baptism in front of the entire football world. And the football world will be watching, millions of eyes, cameras, social media, reporters, analysts, fans, all zeroed in on one kid wearing brown and orange, carrying the weight of decades of failure, trying to be the spark that finally flips the script. That's why this doesn't feel like just a quarterback decision. It feels like a cultural moment. It feels like the kind of thing that doesn't just define a season, it defines an era. And when SHEDEUR Sanders takes that first snap on Sunday against the Bengals, it's not just going to be about whether he completes a pass or avoids a sack. It's going to be about whether the Browns, after all these years, finally found their guy. Because make no mistake, the stakes here aren't just high. They're career-defining, franchise-defining, maybe even league-defining. And I'll tell you this, no matter which way this thing goes, we're witnessing history.